Super comfortable studio headphones. Let's check these out. Taylor here, and I'm checking out these. These are the Beyerdynamic DT 700 Pro X studio headphones, and they're really nice. They're super comfortable, and they're designed to give you a very flat and even frequency response. So if you're looking for headphones that give you lots of bass, these are not those headphones. These are going to give you a nice, clean, and even music reproduction. That means that they're really good for making your own music. If you are a DJ, if you're a music composer, if you're a podcaster, if you're a videographer and you want to hear exactly what you're working with so that you don't get like artificial bass or anything, these do a really nice, clean job. Now, on the specs, they're 5 to 40,000 hertz with a sound pressure level of 100 decibels and a total harmonic distortion of 0.05% at 500 hertz. Very nice. They are adjustable, and you're thinking, but there's no wire. Well, that's because it comes with two different wires. They're both XLR connections, which is a little unusual outside of a studio, but the XLR locks into place, and your choices are that you have a 1.8 meter or 3 meter cable, and in both cases it's 3.5 millimeter and an adapter you can screw on that gets you the 1/4 inch. So you choose. I was using the 3.5 millimeter plugged into my Google Pixel 5a, which actually has a 3.5 millimeter jack on the top, and it worked beautifully. It sounded great. I was listening to sort of got lost in the music there. I was listening to the Fix Reach the Beach, great album, and just really got a chance to just zone out because they have this great passive noise radiator sort of system where they just sort of block out all the sound around you, so you can really just get into the groove and really focus on what you're listening to, which I did really well. So if you want the open back version of these, those are the DT 900. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they have the same specs, but these are closed back, and they have these lovely felt earpieces, and there's a nice padded headband, and this part and these are replaceable. If you end up getting them real sweaty because you're at some crazy party or something, you can replace them. Now, this is a 48 ohm connection, which is a whole lot easier to drive than some of their 250 ohm headphones, but it's still plenty enough that my phone did a perfectly good job. They sounded really good. They got nice and loud. I was at probably about 75% volume to get them to the point I really like to listen to. So there wasn't a lot more headroom above that, but they sounded really clean and crisp. So let's see, talked about both cable sizes. They're very light, very comfortable at 350 grams, highly adjustable. They're loose, so if you have a larger head, you won't be feeling like you're being crushed while you're listening. And it comes with, in addition, a soft carrying bag, which is nice. I much prefer these to the hard carriers because they're just so much easier to work with. So what's left to talk about is the sound. So let me tell you, I really like these. I really like headphones that don't add to music and don't subtract from music. And I felt like these really were living up to their name of being studio headphones. Now it's interesting because some people complained that they don't have enough bass, while other people complained that they add too much bass to the music. And in both cases, I wonder what else they're comparing them to. Because I felt that when I listened to different music sources, they were doing a pretty nice job of just giving me a relatively flat response. So if I was listening to music that had a lot of bass in it, then I was getting that bass. But if I was listening to something like a vocal, like maybe a singer or a podcast or something, then there wasn't much bass at all because I don't want that artificially added by the headphones. So nice Soundstage, really clean and crisp response. So there's lots to like about this. Now, there are a couple of funky things, one of which is that this does stick down rather a long distance. And here it doesn't look like much, but if I put them on, you can see that if I lean to a side, then there's no way for it not to hit my shoulder, which might be annoying depending on how you tend to sit or stand or work when you're actually doing, any sort of audio work with these headphones. There's really no way for them to solve that problem short of having it on a side or coming out this way or something, which would look a little dorky. But that is something worth knowing. Otherwise, the cables do tend to get a little twisted. They're thick and tough, but they're not like braided fabric or anything. And that's something where you'll probably end up constantly doing this sort of gesture and letting it, sort of untwirl and get it so it's not all caught up on itself. But really, that's a really, really minor complaint. Otherwise, let me give you a couple of close-ups so you can see the earpieces and the headband and the outside of the earpieces where you're going to be sharing their company logo with all of your colleagues. All in all, I like these. I think that they have a nice build quality and they're super, super comfortable. And I think they do a really nice job of isolating you from all the ambient noise around you. And that music reproduction is just really clean and they're not adding or subtracting anything as far as my ears can tell. You might have a different experience, but I think these are a really terrific addition to someone who's working their way up the food chain in their recording space, whether it's you by yourself at home working on your next great composition, or you're a professional, or you're just a podcaster and you want to just have really good monitors while you're working on your next podcast. These are a solid option for that, and Beyerdynamic has really good build, really good reputation, really good warranties. All of that's great, which leads us to the price. Now, before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. A click or a tap on that red subscribe button and boom, we're connected. Great. All right, these are the Beyerdynamic DT 700 Pro X, and they are $299 at Amazon.com. Now, honestly, it feels a smidge high for what these are. That's, if you could find them on sale, you might be a little happier. But even at that price, these are a solid option that will really help you raise your game in the audio world, whether you're a musician, a podcaster, or a videographer, or whatever the heck you're doing to create stuff. So, heck, even if you just want to listen to music, these are a really nice choice. That's all I got. I think I'm going to go back to the fix, which means I'll have to catch you. Hang on a second. There we go. I'll have to catch you in my next video.